Welcome back to 3.0 TV, your go-to source for the latest insights in the world of digital currency and the blockchain technology. Today, we have an exciting episode lined up with a guest who is at the forefront of the intersection of artificial intelligence, security, and the blockchain innovation. Joining us is Mr. Ravikant Agarwal, the Director of Growth at Privado AI, a company that spun off from the renowned Polygon Labs. With his deep expertise in both the growth of artificial technologies and artificial intelligence technologies and privacy-focused solutions, Ravikant is here to help us to understand the rapidly evolving landscape of the artificial intelligence adoptions and its real-world impact. Ravi sir, welcome on 3.0 TV.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So, if we can begin with, sir, Privado ID, if you can give a background and the broad-based initiative this company is taking in the world of artificial intelligence.
Sure. I think, Privado ID is basically a middleware identity infrastructure where we are enabling, digital identities for any devices for anyone, anywhere. And this is where, we have recently launched a new product called as Billions.Network, where we are trying to see how we can have an identity for humans and AI. And this is a mobile first approach. So we are very bullish in terms of how can we facilitate the identity for both humans and AI.
All right. So since we're talking about artificial intelligence and its growth across the segments, there are broad-based initiatives which the industry has taken as far as the adoption of artificial intelligence. AI adoption is accelerating through the industries. From your perspectives, what are the key drivers fueling this rapid growth? If you can just highlight that, sir.
Sure. I think there are quite a few, but I think I would restrict it to maybe a few of them that comes top of my mind. I think first one is where we are talking about the advancement of AI model and including infrastructure, right? I think there have been doubling of the efficiencies of the model every 5.7 months, which is exceptionally high. And this is where we have seen that in last 2 years, how much development has happened in the AI space, where we started with the basic models of ChatGPT to now where we are in terms of ChatGPT 4.5 and ChatGPT 5 seems to be just across the corner. There are various other models that have also spun off by all the big boys on the street, right? Whether this is, we are talking about Meta coming out, Google coming out, and so on, right? So this is where I think evolution of the AI models as well as the infrastructure in order to compute those large computation, I think the machines have become equally powerful. That's the first one that comes to my mind. I think the next one is primarily the business needs, right? I think business are trying to see how they can be more efficient, both in terms of the efforts as well as the cost. And this is where they are leveraging AI across different dimensions, whether it is just the support or maybe creating those efficient codes and so on. And that is where they are driving adoption from their enterprise perspective of gaining efficiency. But my personal favorite is where, I see that there is a great product market fit that AI has brought in, right? Imagine that we all have been using Google search for more than 2 decades, but then eventually ChatGPT has disrupted it very, very quickly because the gap in terms of the solution has been phenomenally high. And that's where we have seen the market has quickly adopted this particular solution because there is a better fit, whether we are talking about content creation, communication, writing, just creating some codes and for our daily maybe birthday wishes.
Fantastic. Ravikant, you mentioned about ChatGPT and its broad-based impact it has created in this artificial intelligence segment. You also spoke about since the time it is launched, we have witnessed the ChatGPT 4 and 5 is around the corner. So we are talking about an technology that is learning, evolving, and rapidly adopting the entire use cases. I mean, it is consuming the use cases and it is giving the best technology. So as a company, what are the biggest challenges in scaling AI agents for a mass adoption, and particularly in terms of security and the user trust? Because you will invest in a product and then you need some kind of data to take it forward.
Yeah, I think pretty good question. I would say that, as an industry, there have been, this has been one of the points that has been discussed at length, and there are data privacy and security risks that are also very, very visible, especially when we are talking about AI systems. Those AI systems needs vast amount of data. And that is where they are, becoming like prime target in terms of any kind of data breaches or adversarial attacks that we can think of. There have been incidents where ChatGPT 4 API has to modify some of their API in order to be more enterprise friendly, so that there are no data leaks concerns being raised. But I think the another important aspect that I feel when it comes to the security and the privacy side of it, how are we going to be dealing with hallucination or misinformation? I think this is very important parameter where we are still not completely sorted this out, and there are incidents where we get incorrect or misleading information. And I can recollect that there have been studies by Stanford where they have identified that ChatGPT 4 has hallucinated 23% of the factual query in certain control tests that they have performed, right? So this is one of the bigger challenge. I feel how do we overcome the hallucination and misinformation? But I think from Privado perspective, we are also enabling how do we authenticate and create that reputation system for AI agents. And this is where can we bring that trust when the agents are interacting with other agents or humans are interacting with these agents? Can we create that kind of an ownership model around the agent so that we know who is the person or the entity behind these agents, so that we can even interact with them in more trusted manner, whether those agents are being trained fairly? Can there be attestation or certification that can be given to those agents that can again bring more trust when we are interacting with them? So I think there are different dimensions to look at it, but summing it up, I think user trust is very important. Exactly. And can we create that kind of a transparency for user trust is an important parameter.
You spoke about transparency and user trust. This leads us into the third question, which is about how the companies such as the great initiative which the Privado AI is taking, coupled with the regulators, ensure that the AI-driven decisions remain transparent and unbiased in this digital economy, because this is the very crucial thing. If it is regulated in a very proper and it is channelized through it, then it is the win-win situation.
Yeah. No, certainly. I think this is where, some of the notions which are being discussed and many innovative startups are working on, which is we call that as an explainable AI or verifiable AI. I think this is where the things would start becoming more transparent, and protocols like Aura protocol or Automa in the decentralized world. But again, in the centralized or in the non-Web3 world, there are protocols like Lime or Shape. They are trying to create this kind of an explainable AI or a verifiable AI where the output as well as the input that has gone in, they can be verified in order to be assured that what you are getting is genuinely an outcome of a structured process and there are misinformation taken out of the equation. Exactly. I think again, mitigating the biases are also very important in terms of seeing how can we drive the data set and bring in that kind of a continuous monitoring, which is going to be crucial in terms of again creating that kind of a system which are where we can think in terms of creating that transparent way of trusting the outcome from the AI systems.
So you spoke about several factors. I mean, the keywords which I have picked up is the misinformation, and this leads us into yet another query which everyone is talking about, is the identity theft. So what is the initiative Privado AI is taking or focusing on privacy? Are you focusing on privacy and security? How does your company help in tackling AI generated misinformation? There is a lot of information, but there is a lot of misinformation as well on the internet. Deepfakes and the identity theft.
Yeah, I think deepfake has become such a popular topic of debate nowadays, especially I think with the AI tool that we all using it for a right purpose can also be used for creating those kind of deepfake or the content. Mm-hmm. And in fact, there have been instances where, political parties or influencing parties have used AI to create those kind of fake audios or fake meme that
exactly.
can actually create a lot of unrest in the society or maybe change the dynamics of the outcomes of the elections. In fact, the danger lies in our brain's tendency to accept visual content as reality. I think that is where this kind of AI generated or Gen AI related content can be so powerful in terms of creating those social unrest in case if they have been used for I would say anti-social activities. And this is where, it is getting harder and harder to tell whether the content that is generated, whether this is generated by a real human or by AI. At Privado, what we are trying to do is we are working across different, I would say, guidelines and framework in order to see how can we provide a better trusted system. So something what we say is that don't trust the content, trust the source. This Fantastic. Is where you can authenticate whether the content is coming from the proven sources, and exactly. Those sources needs to have some kind of a reputation, a digital reputation. And then this digital reputation can be built using our infrastructure, where we are not just creating a positive reputation, but then the user would also have a negative reputation in case they have been found out for doing something which is unethical. So I think that this is where we are trying to use advanced technology using cryptographic signature, blockchain technology, in order to ensure that the content that is created or originated is from a trusted source, and that is where we can defend the deepfake to a certain degree.
Thank you so much for being part of this interaction. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.